Notice something funny about this plane? Here's the rosewood knob I took off of it. This is a number 5 Stanley Bailey Type 5. And this is a 2022 reed front knob made of bronze. And you can see the weight. It makes the plane just cling to that board. The other thing is that when you start to plane, the weight of that added weight makes the front of this want to stick to the board, and so when you start your cut, you're normally with another plane. Here's another 5. You put it on there and you have to sort of maneuver and get yourself into position. You don't have that kind of weight. So the weight really does make a difference, and it makes you feel like you're almost using an English Norris or a Scottish Spiers plane, because now the weight of this plane is a lot more like it, and it clings to the board. It's interesting the effect that it has. I think it might even be nice if that was bronze. You would add a lot of weight. Now, that being said, there are a lot of people that don't like heavy planes. I don't really know why, because you're really just pushing them, and I like it when it sits on the board and wants to stay there. But I'm going to take this off and I'm going to try to show you a little more about it. This is not available yet. It was just sent to me to test. But I'm really quite impressed by the addition of that weight in the front. Really nice. I'm going to take it off and I'm going to show you a little bit more about it. So this is that number 5, Type 5 that I was saying, that had the bronze knob on it. Now I put the rosewood knob back on it, and it's a nice plane anyway. Gives a good shaving, but it feels light. Now there are people that really like light planes, and that's important to them, as well as people that like it to stick like that. So I'm not saying one is better than the other at all, but what I am saying is that if you feel like the plane is a little light in your hand, and maybe it has to do with the size of a person or something, I don't know, but there's now an opportunity for a person who wants a little more weight added to switch over to a knob like this. Now, I've been talking about the different 3D printed knobs, and this is a little different because this is a cast knob, and it weighs about 1 pound. So this plane with the regular knob weighs almost exactly 4 pounds. There's a little discrepancy in the scales. When I put this on it, it weighs 5 pounds, but supposedly this only weighs 14 ounces. So there's a little physics issue there, but it's really got a nice shape to it. I'll show you some close-ups of it. And I'm going to switch back over. It's very simple. I think that most people that deal with planes and woodworking already know that it's fairly easy to change these knobs out very quickly. It's that simple. Now, I did find on this plane that it had a great amount of buildup and a lot of japanning around this area here. So this being very square didn't seat real well, but now I just sort of gave it a little filing, and it's seating itself very well now. So I have to get this brass piece out of here, and I'll be able to put it back on the plane. This is let me do this to do that. Here we go. Pop that out. Okay, and now we'll switch over to the bronze one, and it's seating itself pretty nicely there. And pop that in. Not too difficult. And tighten down the barrel bolt, the barrel nut, and nice and snug, not over tightening. Boy, that extra pound, I feel it already, and I like it, but I wish it were back here too. I wish it was more even. With the Spiers planes that I have, it just has a perfect weight that you could sit it on the board like I did this and let her go, but it's still a little light back here. But the knob feels really good. It's a nice large hand size, and it does help the plane cling to the board. So I'm real happy about that. I've got to return it to him, but he said that it was okay for me to polish this because I have this desire. It'll come, if you buy it from him, it'll come like this, and you can buff it out if you want to. Although I think some people might be purists and just love it in that sort of raw bronze state and not polished out. But I'm going to show you what it looks like polished, because I'm just that kind of guy. This looks like something you should stay out of its way of. The bronze has beautiful color. Oh, and it works so much better now that it's polished. Okay, that's not true, but it sure does. It sure does look good. And it feels good. It's a nice size. I'm really, really liking that a lot. You know, it occurred to me that this isn't necessarily a new idea, but the idea of casting one and making it in bronze and producing it is a new idea for sale. A lot of pattern makers used to make their own planes, and not necessarily a Stanley, but they would have access to a foundry, and because of that, they would oftentimes have their knobs and totes or handles cast in bronze, sometimes aluminum, different things, and oftentimes you can tell that it was made by a pattern maker and a foundry in conjunction with each other. But this is the first time that these, and this is a prototype, but this is the first time that these are going to be available to most people just to add to their planes, And as far as I know, no one ever made one of these for sale. So I think that's a big deal, and I think it's going to be a great thing. But this prototype passes all tests that I've put it through, and it kind of takes some of the work out of the holding the plane down in the front like that. It's a lot less pressure there. It's delightful. The weight of it is really amazing. So to Jeff Warshafsky, who has come up with this idea and is responsible for this as the designer and owner of Reed Planes, this is going to be one of their new products, and I think it's really going to be a great one. I really have enjoyed using it. So this isn't really meant to be a commercial for them, but when he gets these into production, I could let you know right now that I'm going to be one of his first customers. Really nice, really nice. The weight, the shininess of it, to me, I like. It's also more comfortable in the hand. It was a little rough, not terribly rough, but a little bit. And this is super smooth, and I think it does help the plane stay on the board. And that's really not only the job of the woodworker, but of the plane itself. So anyway, a nice addition.